Well, hello and welcome everyone to the second day of week 2, Group B's turn this time around. It is going to be Highdra versus Neagat. Some good players up front. So let's see who can actually go ahead and win this game. It is going to be Team Amderg versus Team Bro League today. Let's see if Team Bro League can get themselves more points on the board, or if Team Amderg is going to continue their lead and leave Team Bro League in the dust with just 1 point to their name. And the first game starts off with Ice Cold. So, well, we are entering the Santa period of the map generation here, or the map selection here, I should say, not generation. It is going to be with the red pieces in the bottom left hand side. It is Neagat. And the ones being a little bit colder on the right hand side of Ice Cold with the blue pieces. It is Highdra. Highdra over here is going to try and deny Neagat to even get a single point in addition to Team Bro League. And of course try to get themselves that amazingly feels good man clean sweep. So that they, as Team Amderg, can get closer and closer to the Fellowship. And with that, Highdra is starting off strong. His den is a little bit earlier than the den of Neagat, once again, Beast versus Beast. And with that, it's going to be interesting to note. Of course, in the first week, we had a few more Den versus Rex openings so far, but the more and longer we get into this tournament, it seems like more people try and go and prefer a Den opening for themselves. Highdra starting with 2 dens of his own, getting himself ready for a little bit more of an aggressive push here. But the den opening could obviously be preferred for many of reasons. Obviously, beasts are pretty strong, especially of course in numbers, which is where they are good at. And of course, trying to establish some map control, try and contain your opponent on his side of the field, while you yourself can go and freely expand just that little bit more, get yourself that economic lead, and then either get plenty of wolf dens or dragon lairs, or get yourself in a massive mech switch later in the game. But so far, it seems like Beast is relatively preferred for most of these players. I myself, as so far just a Rex main, finds it not necessarily like difficult to look at, of course, but it would be nice to see some people playing Rex, which Highdra definitely can, and go ahead and take down some of these Beast players. With that said, Neagat gets his first wolf into the base of Highdra, will spot immediately that there is going to be a 2 den. He does spot it indeed. Where the wolf of Highdra is being pushed back from the natural. So no scouting information for him just yet. Neagat, of course, sees that there are 4 wolves hunting him down, and that there is already also one in front of his own base. Knows that he's going to be in a little bit of a peculiar situation here. Definitely wants to go ahead and try and get a watchtower in over here, I assume. No, he's actually going for a castle instead. This is quite interesting. More and more wolves, of course, are going to be running in from Highdra, who himself is getting a watchtower first. Even though he has no offense to be wary of, really. It would be very nice to see Neagat actually getting a watchtower here before getting himself the natural base. So far, though, doesn't seem like it's too big of a deal just yet. Wolves definitely getting themselves into some low health bars. And so far, the hold is pretty okay. The 3 workers here, definitely. Cutting into the economy from Neagat, but it's not an insane big of a deal. But of course, every goal that you're missing in the early game does snowball into the late game as well. 3 wolves of Highdra are very low health here, and they should be focused down more than they are currently. So far, not really happening. Very nice movement from Highdra, trying to redirect the aggro from the wolves of Neagat into the wolves with higher health. So far, nice movement from the low health wolves. Does still go ahead and lose one. The second one should be lost relatively quickly, but the wolves of Neagat are being targeted down just that little bit more. In the meantime, Highdra is getting himself a natural base as well. But this is not going in Neagat's favor. If you look at the total amount of units lost, he is a wolf behind when it comes to units lost, so it's not that big of a deal. But when yeah, when it comes to the worker count though, it's also not that huge of a difference. But if you look at the total unit count, it's 2 wolves versus 7. So far, 3 of them are at the base of Neagat, of course, so there's not that big of a difference here, as this wolf just about manages to escape. But once again, no watchtower is being created. The snake charmer is going to be constructed though. Second wolf den has been finished, so there is a little bit more of a defense ready for Neagat here. But Highdra is still just trying to go ahead and push along. Is it actually going to be enough? I highly doubt it just yet. Highdra getting himself another house to prevent him from being supply blocked. More wolves are continuously being produced. But this is not looking great for Neagat. One of his wolves is once again going to be surrounded, but a very nice pick off for the surround of Neagat over here. But just keep on pressuring the player in the red. Neagat has not a single second of relaxation in his body. Another wolf is going to be taken down here. Another wolf will be pretty much surrounded and going to be taken down as well. 2 wolves of Highdra are once again on very low health. Is he going to be able to pull those back and let those survive a little bit longer? He does just a little bit, and once again, there's some very nice movement from Highdra, trying to take back the wolves that are on low health. Very nice micro. It's actually such a massive addition to his army. All of these low health wolves will continuously deal more and more damage as they slowly regenerate their health. Highdra, once again, showing us why he is a professional RTS player. Neagat, if he would have a little bit better over control and a little bit better targeting, would definitely be able to slim down the entire army of Highdra by a lot, but Highdra definitely not disappointing here. First wolf in a while is going down, and I'm not entirely sure if Neagat can actually hold this for much longer. He's getting 2 more dens, however, so he's definitely getting his production up there, but in the meantime Highdra has 4 dens of his own. You wouldn't say so because of his production, because for some reason, even though he is a professional RTS player, still is getting his supply blocked. He is creating another house though, so as soon as that finishes, 4 more wolves are on the way, but he also should be starting another one of the houses already. Of course, some wolves will die here, but I'm not entirely sure if that is going to be enough to keep Highdra from getting supply blocked for that much longer, and as you can see, he is building an additional house now. More wolves keep popping out. The pressure will be continuously at Neagat's doorstep. In the meantime as well, when you look at the worker count, there are almost as many workers for Highdra as there are for Neagat. And Neagat, of course, has to pull his workers constantly because of his natural being under attack. There is nothing else that a player in the red can do. He needs to surround and get the workers into the fray, because workers deal quite some damage, and they deal that amount of damage with great responsibility, but he definitely should get them back to mining as quickly as possible. He will fend off the push so far, but once again, if you look at the production, it is going to be 4 wolves in production, so there will be 12 wolves in total. There's 7 wolves and 3 snakes. Nothing else in production for Neagat just yet. He is currently at 250 gold, going to try and get himself a 3rd base. Not entirely sure if that is the move that you want to do, but I think as soon as you can get a breather, you might as well make use of it. I hope that Neagat is going to make a watchtower here to, yes he is, to defend his 3rd base, keeping his wolf and snake army at, or between his natural and 3rd, trying to defend it as much as possible. Hydra in the meantime getting wolves ready at all of the 4th base locations to keep an eye on all of those. But in the meantime, continuously getting his production up. Snake Charmer is almost going to be complete, so snakes will soon be added to the army of Hydra as well. In the meantime, Neagat is just slowly and continuously trying to get some of his army up. Not that much in production from our boy in the red. He has 270 gold, but he is supply blocked, so once this house finally finishes, he is going to be able to actually get some more wolves and snakes in the production tab. It looks like he's not going to do so though, even though he did supply block for quite a while. He's getting himself an animal testing lab, but I'm not entirely sure if that's where your focus needs to be, because those upgrades are not going to be there for quite a while, and in the meantime one of your wolves is going down. There is no watchtower at your natural base where your units could have been to try and defend, but 2 wolves managed to get into the base of Neagat. And scouts all around for pretty much free here. Workers are going to chase these wolves, but that is to no avail because the wolves are faster. And once again over here you can see a nice surround from Hydra. Once again the workers have to be pulled, going to get ripped into the army over here. Trying to get a surround going, don't actually manage to get it. This wolf could probably move out, but will get taken down instead. The wolves now surrounding over on the right hand side. Some snakes getting some extra DPS in from a distance, but is it going to be enough? A lot of wolves are on low health for Neagat, and they are on quite high health for Hydra so far. And as you can see, more and more snakes are going to be produced from Hydra. 2 more houses are going to be into the production tab, trying to unrestrain Hydra's future endeavors. 1 attack upgrade is going to be started for Neagat. I'm not entirely sure. Once again, if that would be the best decision, but so far the defender's advantage of getting your reinforcements sooner is definitely helping out Neagat here. The 1 upgrade, attack upgrade, is definitely going to help in the long run, but it was scouted by Highdra, who himself now is getting a singular animal testing lab here. With that said, obviously, because he is transferring some workers, he is behind a little bit on the economy, but in total actually is also behind, which is actually interesting to see. Obviously, he focused a little bit more on the army, but I expected him to be a little bit more ahead at this point, to be honest. This army, though, is going to be completely destroyed. More wolves are in his army composition, so there's more for him to tank. And the snakes, in the meantime, are also just going to be taken down. This is going to be hunted and absolutely, completely and utterly destroyed. There's some nice target fire from these snakes, going to take everything down one by one. And all of these snakes, just the sound of them all dying will be a great sound for Highdra to hear. More wolves are going to be constructed because he definitely needs a front line for these snakes, just like Neagat does. He is getting himself 4 wolves, also getting himself 2 additional wolf dens, which is good to see, but I'm not entirely sure if he will have the economy in order to keep it up. Obviously, he does have a lot of workers, but once again had to pull them in order to aid with the defense. Hydra, in the meantime, is getting himself a werewolf den, also getting him 1 attack upgrade, so he definitely is going up the tech tree more than Neagat. Is that going to put the nail in the coffin for a player in the red, though? I'm not entirely sure if the werewolves will even make it to the opponent's base, because Hydra is just going to continuously send in more and more and more units and just keep on having these workers busy, keep on taking down the entire army from Neagat, because as you can see, just a few wolves have popped, but apart from that, the entire army was pretty much dead. So more workers are going down as well. In total, 8 workers have been taken out from Neagat, and make that 9 and make that almost 10 at this point. It is not great for Neagat to see what is going on over here. Another worker goes down, some more wolves are going down. The snakes are just continuously going to smash into the face of Neagat. It does have the 1 attack upgrade finished though, but these snakes with the attack speed and with the range are going to take care of some of the wolves over here. His 1 attack upgrade is almost being completed as well. He is going to get 4 additional wolf dens, which puts him up at a total of 7 together with a werewolf den. So maybe the werewolves will manage to get into the base of Neagat here. And with 130 supply cap right now, he still has 53 supply to fill. And I assume with all of these dens finishing up that he is going to get a continuous stream of units rolling. Highdra is getting himself a 4th base, still keeping tabs on one of the 4th base locations from Neagat, but so far no plans for Neagat to actually get a 4th just yet. And look at this. A fortress is going to be constructed for Neagat. Wants to try and see if he can do something with dragons, but so far I highly doubt if it is going to work, because Highdra can make plenty of snakes at a time. And with the still just barely economic lead that he has, I mean, he has 500 gold efficiency and just 200 gold additionally mined, so that's 700 gold in the favor of Highdra. It's not the biggest lead, but he can definitely, as you can see, he's currently making 7 snakes at a time. So by the time the fortress finishes and the dragon lairs finish as well, and that is going to be a tough place for Neagat to be in. The first werewolf enters the battle, and Neagat now knows that he is up against a werewolf right now. It is very tough, very nice positioning from these snakes, targeting down the werewolf. Very nice to see, but in the meantime all of the wolves over here are taking down everything else. There is nothing standing in the way from the wolves to take down all of these snakes. Wolves themselves have a higher movement speed than the snakes as well, so Highdra is going to try and surround it. A very nice stutter step from Neagat though, with the snakes taking down the wolves that tried to surround it, and actually giving himself plenty of space to deny Highdra some of the main damage here. The werewolf is going to be taken down relatively quickly, only was able to do 1 smash, and that is not going to be enough to take Neagat down just yet. All of these snakes are also going to go down, and this is actually quite nice to see. 2 attack upgrades versus 1 attack and 1 defense. Not too shabby. Definitely want to take back this 1 worker though, Neagat. You definitely want to take back this worker. And it's dead. Those snakes are actually adorable though. Anyway, another push coming in from Highdra. Once again, he does have 7 dens, and a werewolf den is not in the favor of a boy in the red. He does have 490, 500 gold now though, so he definitely can get some more production rolling in. And he is just about to do that as he has started 3 dragon lairs. Is it going to be in time though, because it is going to take quite a while before those are going to be able to finish. And it looks like with just a little bit more of the numbers, Highdra over here is going to take down the entire army from Neagat, and it might actually be the last push that he needs. And yes, Neagat does indeed GG, and Highdra takes the victory in game number 1. Having that said, that took a little bit longer than I expected it to. Of course, Highdra using the battering ram of his beast units to continuously be in the face of Neagat, and Neagat was definitely fighting an uphill battle, but like I said, I expected it to be over a little bit sooner. I myself once again also underestimate the power of the workers when it comes to the defense, and of course the defender's advantage as well is very big, as you can see. But so far it was closer than I expected it to be, so maybe Neagat has a chance to take a game for Team Bro League, or maybe even go for the reverse sweep. There's only one way to find out, and that is going into game number 2. And what a better place to play game number 2 than to play on Ravaged. This is going to be interesting to see though, because I am not entirely sure about the statistics, but as far as I can remember, most of the series have been decided once they played on Ravaged, so that is not a stat that is going into Neagat's favor here. But having that said, in the top left hand side with the red pieces trying to defy the odds, it is Neagat. And the player in the bottom right trying to make it 2-0 for his team, going to try and bring the fight to the Fellowship at the front of the bracket. It is Highdra. His blue pieces are probably going to make a wolf den, or is he switching it up? He is switching it up. Highdra, you are my hero. That leaves it interesting to see because Neagat as well is going Rex. This is nice to see. Rex versus Rex. Are we going to see some Raider micro against each other? That would be interesting to see. But Highdra so far has had the best micro. So do I want to see Raider versus Raider? I'm not entirely sure, and I'm also not sure if Highdra wants to see Raider versus Raider, because he himself is going for a proxy. But what is that proxy going to be? I assume it is going to be a workshop, or is it just going to be a second barracks? Let's find out what he is going to place there. Apart from that, the builds are identical. And instead of going for a second raider, he is going for a second barracks. Ooh. Neagat, my man, I hope you are ready for it. I hope you can defend this, and I hope that you can take down Highdra. Trying to be a little sneaky man. And still, at this point, not looking too different. Highdra, though, is currently stuck on 9 workers. So if Neagat can hold this, it seems like it is going to be not necessarily heavily in his favor, but when it comes to the economy, he definitely is a great bit ahead. Now, the first raiders are going to fight each other, and actually, Neagat with an additional jab to the raider of Highdra is winning himself the first duel there. And this is not really what we like to see. The second raider is in the building, third raider is... okay, it's once again redirected to the natural of Neagat here. That is going to be 2 raiders versus at least 3, maybe 4. By the time this archer pops out, I think it might be just a little bit too late. So it's definitely going to be a little bit tricky for Neagat here. But once again, 3 raiders versus 2 shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now Neagat might have an idea that there is a proxy going on, or maybe expects like some kind of play, because it seems like a weird place from a raider to come from. This though is actually quite nice. He can actually take down the raider. Oh my god. Is Neagat actually doing it? The archer popping out at the perfect time, doing some extra damage to the raiders. Some very nice damage from Neagat using those raiders. This is looking better than expected. This base definitely needs to finish though, because Neagat is supply blocked and an archer takes 2 supplies, so that is not great to see. But the archer is on the way. More workers have been transferred. And I think he transferred... did he just transfer equally? No, he transferred just a little bit more to also aid into the defense here. Raider does get taken down by Highdra, but the archer is still relatively safe. The workers over here holding position, very nice. And once again, workers coming to the aid. 2 archers can definitely deal plenty of damage to some raiders here. And once again, if the workers also are going to either hold position in front of the archers or are themselves going to just attack, it's not a great position for Highdra to be in. Doesn't actually manage to attack the worker constructing the watchtower. Does, however, get 2 raiders into the main base of Neagat, but with 3 archers being out and a watchtower being constructed, I feel like Highdra is going to be taken down shortly. Another worker pool going to be dealt some damage to the raiders. This archer, nice movement back out, only halfway dead. Archers, though, compared to raiders, do not actually regenerate health, so any damage to these archers is going to be more devastating than damage to the raiders. But there is no more production from Highdra. Once again, he's just on 9 workers. He is getting himself a natural base, though. So he's probably trying to get himself back in the game in some way. But so far it is not really looking that good. Archers taking down one of the raiders. Second raider is probably going to go down relatively quickly. It should not be able to get out of the base. The watchtower is going to be completed as well, so these raiders are also going to be taken down. In the meantime, a workshop is being constructed on Neagat's side, so I assume that he's going to get himself some catapults. Or maybe some Gatling guns to try and hunt down these raiders, but I would expect more of catapults instead of Gatling guns. House of Highdra has been built over here. Obviously, it was a while ago because he did not have the time to go all the way back to his base and definitely did not want to take workers from his main of the mineral line. Or the gold mine, I should say. But he is in a peculiar situation. Just now, once again, started to get more workers in. Also getting himself a workshop and an advanced workshop, so while the raiders didn't do the trick, he's going to try and do the trick with catapults himself. The workshop is being finished from Neagat though, who is now also getting himself a third base, and he really wants to scout a little bit further to find a proxy Rex that Highdra is hiding. He's not producing anything from it though, as he is obviously waiting more for the workshops to be completed. Definitely wants to micro his archers a little bit better, so they would have killed this raider by now if he would have just stepped in just a little bit so more archers could fire at the same time. But nonetheless, there is not going to be any catapults, there's not going to be any Gatling guns. Neagat is going for a double mill. As far as I can remember, gyrocrafts are quite expensive. But when it comes to what Highdra is trying to do, gyrocrafts are really good for it. Because catapults cannot shoot up and an airship can just be taken down by gyrocrafts. Once again, also, there was only a watchtower at the second base. There is being a watchtower constructed at the third base, which is nice to see. But the main base is still a little bit tricky and still open for a little bit of harass. I highly doubt that it's going to be enough though. Well, the mills are going to be constructed and are going to be finished, I assume, by the time that the catapults are coming his way. Once again, just go out a little bit further and see that there is a barracks there, man. It would be great to just take it down. Just, not that Highdra is probably going to produce much, if anything, out of this barracks, but at least doesn't allow him to get anything. And once again, the bird as well. Ah, there we go. Watchtower gets finished and does finally see that there is a barracks there and does send his archers to deal with it. He made a bird with the third, so some people might be happy in the community right now seeing that bird fly out. We'll scout that there is a workshop and an advanced workshop, and that probably means that Neagat is going to be very happy with his switch into gyrocrafts. He is a little bit supply blocked though, so definitely needs to get himself some more houses coming in. Is getting himself a second workshop, so apart from the gyrocraft, is definitely going to get himself some catapults as well. Highdra in the meantime trying to get a third base up and running. But is it going to help him that much? He is currently on 18 workers versus the 29 of Neagat, and there is almost a 500 gold per minute difference, and he's 1600 gold behind on the gold already mined. It is not really great to see. Highdra just now is going to find out that there are gyrocrafts and archers over here trying to be pushed into the airship here. Not really going to be taking it down, but the gyrocraft is slowly but steadily going to follow it. Fourth base is going to be under construction relatively shortly from Neagat. Trying to get himself even further and further ahead economically. Which, as you can see, still 500 gold a minute ahead. There's not a lot that Highdra can really do here. It is a valiant effort trying to get the favor going into his way again, but I highly doubt that with the addition of 2 more gyros and the continued production of gyros in the production tab, that he's going to be able to do a lot. The first ballista is going to be constructed a little bit late, if you ask me. But there's also no watchtowers here. First one is going to try and get constructed but Neagat wants to take down this airship first. Is it going to be able to do so? Yes, it is going to be able to do so, and very quickly at that as well. Natural Base is going to get a watchtower. It will probably finish as well, but in the meantime, the workers here are going to be taken down. Ballista is about to pop out, so these gyros are definitely going to be able to be pushed back, as he's not going to be able to take down a ballista and an archer with just 3 gyros. Maybe 5 can do the trick, but he's constructing even more at this point in time. Once again, he's getting himself a 4th base, which is slowly going to be mined at as well, and completely saturated. I would also love to see, like he's doing, some more catapults. He will probably get one massive attack in relatively soon-ish. Because if we look at the production tab, there are only 4 catapults from Highdra. It doesn't have the economy to make much more than that, as in addition of the ballista. This worker definitely going to be taken down, stopping the production of the house, keeping Hydra's supply booked even more. And it is a 90 supply versus 50 supply game. It is a tough position for Highdra to catch up on, and he might realize that he is pretty much dead, because if you look once again at the economy, he is 3,500 gold behind if you add up the total mine difference and the gold lost difference as well. And once again we see that there is a 3x income difference here. Well, 2.5x income difference here. Once again, one of the larger differences that we've seen in quite a while. Raiders from Highdra are waiting on the left-hand side, but do get caught by the gyrocrafts, and they will be taken down slowly and steadily. While the massive army from Neagat is going to run across the center field here. One forge has been constructed from Neagat, getting himself the mechanical unit attack upgrade. Obviously helping out with his gyros a lot, and also of course with his catapults. These gyros are probably going to try and attack the left-hand side, which is slowly going to be walled off by Highdra, as one gyrocraft is just shot down by the ballistas pretty quickly. Going in with his birds first to try and see if he can spot anything strange in particular, but this attack is going to be huge. Does manage to take down the first watchtower, does not manage to take down the second. That one does get cancelled. But the archers and catapults are definitely going to be able to take down this ballista. If this ballista is going to be taken down, if it actually is being dealt enough damage that it goes down, these gyrocrafts are once again free to roam. One ballista goes down, second ballista has been popped out, but I don't think that this one ballista is going to be enough. He almost has completed the upgrade for the explosive shot, but it's not going to be enough. Highdra does eventually tap out, giving Neagat the victory, who was trying to get himself a 5th base in the background here. Leaving the series at a 1-1. With this series being 1-1, that means that Team Bro League has another point on the board, and that Highdra for Team Emberg cannot get that clean sweep going. So the Fellowship is going to be slightly safer, but how much safer is it going to be? Neagat has proven that he can take down Highdra here. So maybe Highdra is in a little bit of a pickle and might start doubting himself a little bit. But we shall see in game number 3 if Neagat can do it again, or if Highdra ends up being too strong. And game number 3. It is going to be played on Mirrored Mire. With in the top left-hand side, with the red pieces this time, it is going to be Highdra. Which means that in the bottom right-hand side of the map, with the blue pieces, it is going to be Neagat. Now, we've seen Den versus Den. We've seen Rex versus Rex. So are we now going to see mech versus mech? Just saying. We haven't seen mech versus mech yet, so it would be amazing to see how that would go. Probably would mean though that both of these players are going to play extremely defensive, because mech So I kind of hope to see it. And well, here we go. Neagat actually is going for mech. Okay, please. Please, Highdra. Do it. I know you want to. Aw, lame. Lame. So lame. Oh well. It is going to be Mech versus Rex. Having that said though, Mech versus Rex, I don't think we've seen this either in this tournament so far. I think it has been mostly Mech versus Den, so hey, it's something new, it's something weird, and I am all up for it. Not entirely sure how it is going to play out though, because Gatling guns are strong, they are fast. Barracks units are also strong, but not so fast. So let's see how this is going to end up going, because yeah, like I said, I have not seen this yet. As imagined, Gatling guns for Neagat and Raiders for Highdra. Raiders do have the flash ability, so they are able to surround or try and backstab the Gatling guns. So Highdra here might be in a little bit of an advantageous position when it comes to the movement, but overall speaking, the Gatling guns are... Oh, actually, I thought the Gatling guns would be faster, but no. And Raiders deal 16 additional damage versus mech? Oh! Oh no! Plus 14 versus biological, that I knew. That's why Raiders are such good damage versus wolves, and if someone is going mass wolves, you might think about going more Raider heavy than soldier heavy, even though soldiers can tank quite a bit. And of course also have the additional armor. But with these 16 additional damage versus the Gatling guns from the Raiders, this is tough. Definitely needs to get out there when the second Gatling gun comes out, but this is going to be tough. I expect Highdra to maybe go and build more and more Raiders here, because of the fact that they do 16 additional damage to the mech army, as well as having the 3.2 movement speed versus the 2.9 of the Gatling gun. When these Gatling guns though drop their caltrops, slowing down the Raiders potentially, or the entire Rex army by that, they do gain a little movement speed boost, but I'm not entirely sure if that is going to be enough to take down Highdra here. Both of them though going for the natural bases. Highdra moving out a worker, thinking about which third base to take, and is going to decide to take the third at the bottom here. And transferring the workers to the natural, immediately getting a third, which is relatively quickly, just before 4 minutes. As obviously he sees that Neagat is going mech, and mech is obviously a more defensive playstyle, or at least a little bit, not necessarily laid back, but, you know, laying low. It does allow Highdra to go for this fast third. And of course, with the Raiders being spotters over here on both of these sides, just walking around from time to time, is going to confirm to Highdra that the Gatling guns are not on a rollout anytime soon, as the fourth one does go and pop out. Having that said, there is some supply difference, but this entire supply difference is all in Gatling guns, which is interesting to see. Second workshop has been completed, which is double Gatling gun production. So Highdra definitely needs to be a little bit more careful right now. Has started the production of archers himself though, getting 2 additional racks. He realizes that, especially when he gets 3 bases up and running, he can afford to get himself some more production facilities. But Neagat is thinking about moving out a double flash out from Highdra here. Is going to try and keep this raider safe, but that is not what you want to do. Keep on running, my dude. You want to keep this raider safe. In the meantime, this one will jump into the base. Try and see if he can get any scouting going or any damage going. So far, I don't think he will be able to do much yet. He is going to try, of course, that is for sure, but I highly doubt he will be able to do a lot. This is interesting though. All of the Gatling guns are chasing this one raider, so that really cuts into the damage that Neagat can do here with this push, because 3 of the Gatling guns, most of the Gatling guns here, have obviously been moved to the side here. In the meantime, the raider was not able to do that much. Has been taken down, and the attack from Neagat has been delayed for now. So, will the push finally commence? It kind of seems like it. 2 watchtowers constructed at the natural, 1 is being constructed at the third. There is none in the main, but first, of course, he needs to get through this in the first place. He will almost definitely be able to take down the worker that is constructing the watchtower, but he's not going to focus on that. He's going to focus on the archers. Is that the right thing to do, though? They do have more movement speed than the archers do. Watchtower does get cancelled, which is nice to see for Neagat. But is it going to be enough? The raider who survived is once again staying on the third base, trying to keep tabs on everything that is happening over there. Highdra, though, slowly getting himself a lot of archers, and with not a lot of workers here to repair the Gatling guns, it is going to be a tough thing for Neagat to keep on pressuring. And as well, of course, Highdra can just focus down the workers, so even if there were some more workers, with the focus fire of these archers, they could have been taken down, and then the Gatling guns would be relatively easy to push back. Because mech units, as you can imagine, don't heal themselves either. Another little bit of a raider aggression over here. Not really doing too much, but once again just slowly softening the workers from Neagat here. Maybe he's going to be able to actually get one. But so far not quite. Might be able to get that one. Yes, he does. And will he flash out? He doesn't even need to. In total, 5 workers of Neagat have been going down at this point. We'll lose an additional one, so that is 6. Neagat definitely needs to pay more attention to his natural, though, because he is slowly losing more and more and more workers. How many kills does this raider have? It has 3 in total. So that is half of the worker count that has been destroyed, has been done by that one raider. The raider also attacking the catapult. Catapult cannot do anything against it because it does not have the range in order to attack it. And the raider will also have too much attack speed when it comes to that. First catapult shots, though, when it comes to fighting the archers of Highdra, are definitely some solid hits. Is it going to be enough, though? Soldiers are going to tank some of these Gatling guns so far. It seems like a relatively easy attack, but the catapults in the back from Neagat do deal quite some damage. Highdra does have a very nice micro ability, though. So he's just going to run in. More workers are going to be pulled as well. Catapults are going to be attempted to be run by and stand right next to it, and not allowing the catapults to attack anything. Not looking great for our player in the blue. 3 more workers have been taken down, so it's 9 workers in total that have died. Neagat is going to try and get himself a third base, and he is quite a bit behind when it comes to the income. He is 700 gold behind when it comes to the mine gold, and 900 gold behind when it comes to the gold efficiency. So that is 1500 gold in total at the point of reading, but it is in favor of Highdra. And against a player like Highdra, that is a tough position to be in. It is a tough position to be in general, but especially against someone who can get so much value out of all of his units as Highdra can. It is not going to be easy. More catapults, though, can definitely deal some damage to these archers. 2 have been taken down, but the rest is going to be almost shut down by running straight into them. The shots have been missed once more, another catapult goes down. The workers over here are going to be attacked. This is going to be cleaned up relatively smoothly, I imagine. Just a few more hits and these archers are dead as well. But there is going to be a continuous run from Highdra with his units towards the base of Neagat. You can see 2 more soldiers, an archer, another archer, and soon more and more and more units will enter the fray, because it is 4 barracks for Highdra here, producing units continuously. He also got himself a forge, getting himself a 1 attack upgrade as we speak. So his army, which is continuously going to ball up right in front of Neagat's bases, is slowly going to get stronger as well. Watchtower is going to be constructed at the 3rd base. Very nice to see. Definitely would like to have one at the natural as well, because he's not going to attack the 3rd, he's just going to attack the natural. Definitely wants to move those soldiers in front. They have the free reign to walk in front now. Archers will deal some damage from the distance. Some catapult hits will be attempted, but Highdra can just walk away. Some nice hits over here. Another catapult does manage to be constructed, but nothing really dealing too much damage to the army of Highdra. So far so good. 4th base for Highdra is being constructed as well. His defense is pretty solid. First attack upgrade is getting in, and what is he going to build? He's going to build an advanced workshop. That is interesting. As some soldiers walk in, trying to see if he can do anything. Nothing can be done so far. An advanced workshop is being made, no normal workshop though, so I assume that he's going to go for some airships to maybe drop his army into the main base here. Or maybe just on top of the catapults here and try and deny Neagat some of that sweet AoE damage. Here though, once again, the soldiers trying to run straight into the catapult. So far, only about to go and take down one. The watchtower is going to be taken out very quickly. A lot of damage has been dealt to these archers though. Some very nice shots from the catapults actually coming in and connecting. But is it going to be enough? Some more forward movement. Another few archers are going to be taken down. Not the best. Another archer taken down. 2 more being softened up. The catapult count is getting quite dangerous. A workshop is being constructed from Highdra as well, probably trying to get himself his own catapults here. But once again, the continuous production from Highdra is slowly going to add up. But Neagat, however, is able to construct 3 catapults at a time. This catapult ball is going to be very hard to deal with for Highdra, unless of course he gets himself the airships and actually drops the army on top of the catapults. Then the catapults, if they are not positioned correctly, will not be able to attack anymore, and then the entire army from Neagat will be taken down rather swiftly. 1 attack upgrade has been finished for Highdra. 2nd attack upgrade is on the way. And as you can see, another watchtower is being constructed at the 3rd. The natural base is being fortified by the catapults, of which a total of 9, 10 are currently waiting. Forge is being constructed for Neagat, probably trying to get himself some mechanical units attack upgrades, of course, which would be nice to see. The catapults dealing quite some damage already, but with the attack upgrades, we're definitely going to have a great addition there. Airship is going to be constructed. The catapults will probably be dropped, and once the forge has been completed and with the 1 attack upgrade, the 2 catapult shots can actually wipe out some gold workers with just 2 connecting shots instead of 3, because otherwise they would survive with, I believe, 1 or 2 health. So that is just not enough. Or 4 health, actually. Nonetheless, they would survive. And yes, we do indeed see the mech attack upgrade. 2nd attack upgrade for the infantry, however, for Highdra is slowly getting finished as well. Only 30 more seconds remaining. And Highdra is on the hunt for this airship. Will know that it is there. No watchtowers at the main base, does kind of cut into it right now. Highdra with the drop of his army into his own main base does manage to push back Neagat's push for now. Catapults will drop, will only connect one shot at the natural base. And probably not going to be able to do that much as of right now. One ballista is going to be finished, is going to be picked up by the airship, not quite yet. It will do another shot of damage though, and the archers and ballista will take it down. An airship goes down, 2 catapults go down, but in the meantime at the 4th base another catapult drop has been planted. Not a lot of damage once again to the workers, only some lost mining time, but it is not going to be enough. Neagat in the meantime trying to get himself a 4th base of his own, while he sees that there are more and more workshops producing catapults for Highdra as well. So, with that said, it is looking dire for Neagat. There is a very large base of units for Highdra. He once again obviously does have the ballista ship on the hunt for these catapults. Will manage to deal one shot. Will it be another one? Yes, it will. All of these archers will manage to catch it out in the open here. And there is nothing that this airship is going to do. Is it actually going to survive? Yes, it is. Why are you not sticking your airship here onto the airship of Neagat? Doesn't quite look like it is going to be great for him. But he might have been distracted by another catapult drop from Neagat. Once again, not really doing that much damage though. Only 4 workers have been going down so far. All of them have safely migrated to the 4th base. Highdra in the meantime though, attacking the 4th base of Neagat, does manage to take down some of the mechanical units over here. Trying to stay away out of range of the watchtower. That's just 3 damage for Neagat at this point. Is just outside of the range. This archer though, still not really. And a lot of catapult shots here are straight onto the faces of these archers. Everything over here is going to be taken down relatively quickly. Nothing that Highdra can really do there. Should have probably moved all of that up into his airships and drop onto the catapults. Because that was not one of the better engagements that I've seen. 2 attack upgrades have been finished though. 3rd one is also over halfway finished. The airship, sad to see for Highdra, but good to see for Neagat, has been repaired here. As he himself is attempting to get a 5th base. In a straight line down, it's interesting to see that he's not going for this base, which I assume would be a little bit easier to hold. Neagat trying to get himself a 5th base. Trying to catch up with our boy in the red here. The economy not that far away, but he is 3,000 gold behind in total when it comes to gold mined. The efficiency though when it comes to these fights is way closer than I expected it to be. This is going to be tough to see though. Units are going to be picked up and they are going to be dropped straight on top of the catapults right here. And these soldiers with 2 attack upgrades are going to wreak havoc on all of these catapults. This is not what Neagat wants to see. These soldiers, 2 drops onto the catapults are absolutely devastating. Everything going down here. Highdra in the meantime as well with his own massive flock of catapults going to keep these bases separated. The airship is going to be taken down by the ballista relatively quickly. This base is going to be taken down by the catapults, and in the meantime, with one more shot of the ballista, Neagat's airship could be taken down, but it's going to be too much anyway. And Neagat GG's out, and the Highdra will manage to take the 2-1 victory. So with that 2-1 result, it once again is a victory for the team of Amdurg. But it is not another clean sweep. So with that result, the standings are as follows. Team Amdurg get 2 additional maps, and 2 additional points get himself to 15 in total. Just 2 behind the Fellowship, and 8 ahead of Team Holy. So they are pretty secure of 2nd place so far, and the Fellowship needs to look behind them, because Team Amdurg is slowly but steadily coming for them. Having that said though, Team Bro League, it is good to see that they also got another point on the board. 2 points in total. Still a little bit away from the team Holy in 3rd place, but slowly coming off the ground. And maybe this is what they needed, just like Team Mderg needed in last week to switch the tides. With that said, that is going to be today's matchup. I hope you enjoyed this series, and of course if you did, don't hesitate to press the like button down below and let me know in the comments what you thought of this series. And also feel free to let us know in the Littlewargame lobby chat as well, or join the Discord and let us know in there what you think of this tournament so far. Apart from that, if you do not want to miss any of the following Pro League 6 coverage, then feel free to subscribe to the channel, and of course do not forget to check out all of the other content creators for Littlewargame as well, because there's plenty of coverage of this tournament, and it is great to see all of their viewpoints as well, and all of their nuggets of information. And with that, that's all that I have for you today. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow with the next game of this week. And until then, have a great day, my dudes.